Hello, if you've clicked on this video out of morbid curiosity because you don't know what GateTail is, first of all, spoiler warning, these are all the joke endings, and it's just better if you find them on your own by accident. But for those of you who just need a video guide to figure out how to get the rest of them, here you go. The first ending is probably the game's most iconic. You go over to the funny little well, you press yes, you jump into it, game's over. You can beat the game in like 10 seconds if you do this optimally. Another thing that's funny to note is that you actually beat the game so fast, the scripted sequence that's supposed to sync to the beat drop of Dino Jungle actually plays after the game is already over, which is hilarious. The second ending you can get is pretty darn simple. After your second boss fight, on the river, you go down to this railway which connects you to the next area of the game. But rather than taking the intended path, let's go a little bit off the beaten path and go up. Well, no, that's not the way you're supposed to go, and the game just ends itself. Anyways, we made it through that railway, so let's just head on over to the desert and see where the next ending is. Wait, Ryan, what are you doing? No. No! Haven't you learned anything? Why are you going the wrong way again? Oh, and she's gone. Oh, hey, it's another ending. Next ending is probably one of the more morbid ones, as it involves consuming a certain creature. Oh, and if you're wondering how to get this cat to spawn in, I have a tutorial for that too. Click the annotation. Now, this next ending used to be a whole lot worse. In older versions of the game, the way you'd achieve this ending, or I guess the variable that activates this ending, would be to literally have your game be turned on for 24 entire hours in the first room of the game. And I'm glad I don't have to teach people how to edit their save files. Because now it is way easier and honestly way funnier. Once you're in the desert, in the first big room, right in this little crossroads between where you get the spring water and where you can continue on to see Jackson for the first time, there's this little wall that you can kind of just walk through, and if you keep walking through it, you'll encounter this. That's a lot of experience and gold you got there. Your life just got a whole lot easier thanks to that bug. Too bad you're soft-locked! This next ending you could very easily run into by accident. And unlike the fake softlock that we just saw Fred kill you for, this is something slightly more real. Alright, so this next ending is way farther on in the game, and it only has a 1% chance of happening every single lightning strike, so it'll probably take a really long time for it to happen. Oh. There's no way! There's no actual way that just happened! So, in all reality, it's not going to be instant, like that clip suggests. I straight up had to wait for it an hour the first time I wanted to get this ending. And yeah, that's just how it be sometimes. This is one of the only luck-based endings, so I'm glad it's just this one and not a bunch of other endings. The This next ending is more you pushing against the game rather than doing something unintentional. When you get sent to this house after completing Permarvel and the Dark Forest, you're supposed to escape. However, stealth segments suck. So let's try to go interact with Ariana anyways. Do you really want to go in there? Are you sure? Like, are you 100% certain this is a good idea? Fine. Remember when I said spoilers, fuckhead? This is the end of the game. So near the end of the game, you meet this character, Anthony, and his entire thing is that he just kind of teleports everywhere on purpose. And you'd think that if you knew where he would teleport and he teleported onto you, the game wouldn't account for that. However, if you stand on the specific tile and just wait... Finally, the last ending you can get is pretty simple, but it requires you to be basically at the end of the game for any ending except the gaining ending. Essentially, once you finish the Codarium, you have the option to do bonding time with Anthony, and to end that time, you just choose the pranking option when given the choice. And instead of walking up to Jacob and reading him the best piece of literature ever conceived by man, just try to leave. Since I don't want to get into spoilers for the main 4 endings, I'm going to end the video off here. And just last thing before you go, if you can think of a joke ending for this game, what would it be? Write it down in the comments and I'll heart the good ones, and who knows, maybe someday they'll make it into the game.